Hello, Maverick traders. Welcome out to your currency recap for December 23rd. Christmas is upon us. Hope you're having a nice holiday season. Corey here with you. We're going to take a look at meaningful news in the markets. We're going to look at where things are heating up or slowing down. And to be frank, this is not a week to be aggressively trading. We'll touch on why that is.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
All right, so as we look at markets today, we're going to look at a few different factors. One is that just the general equity market, the breadth or the majority of stocks are now in downtrends and would lead one to believe that there could be more selling to come once the new year hits. So equities looking a little softer, but this is just a light volume week. There's really no economic reports. There's no earnings in equities. Everything is kind of scheduled off because it's a major holiday. Equity markets will close on a half day tomorrow, be completely closed on Wednesday for Christmas. It's just going to be a light volume week, which means that it's more easily pushed around. Whether you want to call it manipulation or whatever, there's just going to be more maybe price action that can be manipulated in certain ways. So not my favorite week to be trading. If doing so, do it in smaller size and very carefully. Now, as we look at FX markets, a little bit weaker day for yen and Swiss franc, a little bit stronger for US dollar and our risk-on currencies, CAD, Aussie, Kiwi, but nothing major happening there. Crypto with a little bit of a bounce back, but Bitcoin sat that rally out. So Bitcoin actually still looks pretty weak. Equities a little bit higher today. Remember, we had a bad day last week, and we've bounced back a little bit of that. As you look at crypto, like I said, Bitcoin sat out the rally, but Litecoin, Ethereum, stronger in crypto land. So as we look at equities, we had the flush to the downside, and now we're in the bounce back mode. But what's interesting about that is if you look at this low down here, just below 5,700 in the S&P, the advanced decline line has actually taken out that low, meaning more stocks are hitting new lows, and the markets themselves, the majority of stocks have fallen apart. But why are the indexes holding up relatively well? Well, it's all the big names. It's the Teslas and the Apples of the world that are holding up really well, and those are the biggest market cap. So you have a small group, but they're the biggest companies that are doing well, and then you have the majority of stocks that are all smaller market cap and smaller size, but they're all doing poorly. Right now, there's a definite downward bias to the markets. Most stocks are downward trending. It's just that they're not the biggest names. Now, as I said, economic reports, we're going to get not non-farm payrolls. We're going to get initial jobless claims like always on Thursday, but that's it. I mean, this is the calendar. There is nothing happening in crypto land and currency land. It's just going to be pushed around based on the whims of the market and somewhat unpredictable in that way. So interestingly enough, everything's kind of coming up more neutral anyway. We'll look at a few charts together. The one standout I would say is the Bitcoin sitting out the rally. When something should be doing better and it's doing poorly, we call that a market tell. It's telling you it should be rallying. It's not. Expect more weakness. So if I were looking to expect some weakness somewhere, it would be Bitcoin. But everything else is just in that 1 to 0 range. Look at some of these charts together, and you'll probably not see something that you want to be super aggressive with. So we'll start with Bitcoin. It's maybe on the cusp of a breakdown. You can see a little bit of a downward slope here, sell signal. This is not downward sloping overall, but a little bit more of a downward trend. So where would Bitcoin look good on the short side? Really, it needs to break this 92,000. And then you'd have really a -3 rating most likely. You'd have downward slope. This would roll over. This would still be on a sell signal, and you'd be in business. So a break of 92,000 and the floodgates could open up for Bitcoin to continue selling down into the 85,000, maybe the low 80,000 range. Seems the path of likely direction for Bitcoin. But look at all these other charts. I mean, US dollar, I pulled this one up because it's at least more on the cusp of a buy, but you're underneath resistance, you're consolidating, you got more sideways slope, more sideways slope. It could start to look really good if you get a nice upward push. If this starts to break higher, then the moving average curls up, then you're on a buy signal, then this starts to curl up, and all of a sudden you're in buy mode. But I'm not super confident that's going to happen. Most of the charts in FX land are close to the 50 metric on the RSI, which is a neutral reading, and they're sloping sideways. Most of them have a mixed picture with moving averages more sideways and just kind of bouncing back and forth. So certainly not a lot of clear direction. Expect a lighter volume week, and most things from a chart perspective just simply do not have velocity. The one exception, I guess, is there is a little more weakness in Bitcoin than what there would have, could have, should have been today. And it's at least a chart that looks like it might be on the cusp of a breakdown. But otherwise, it doesn't look like anything you want to be too aggressive with here. Not right now. Now, in the next couple of days, there may be some setups, but again, expect lighter volumes, expect some wildness and some indecision within the charts. That's where your stop losses can kind of be chewed up and spit out, where they just hunt and peck for stop losses, and there's no rhyme or reason to the price action. So be cautious and at least understand that that's a very real possibility for this week. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.